And we are live, David. How are you?
Good. Happy to be back.
Yeah, and we've got a new picture, courtesy of one of Dave's friends. They
Yep.
like what we're doing and thought they'd design a little picture. Can't see it all, thanks to the strange circle icon they've got on Google, but it's quite a cool looking icon. Obviously, looks like the Back to the Future symbol, so it's quite cool. And hope you all enjoy it. And
Yeah. Big
yes,
shout out
here
to
we are reviewing Jurassic Park, the original film from 1994, I think it was. Um,
yeah.
the film, obviously, is one of the, or 1993, actually, sorry, is one of the biggest films ever. It was the biggest at the time. For those that don't know, it's the story of a businessman who's invested in recreating dinosaurs using DNA farmed from like amber, and then they clone using some sort of modern day animals, and is planning to build this park with all sorts of dinosaurs on it, carnivores, herbivores, and everything in between. And basically just the story of how he goes about trying to do it and getting the park ready for people to see, and how from there it goes very wrong. So yeah, this is a pretty iconic film, wouldn't you say, Dave?
Yeah. Great intro. I love this film beyond belief. I love the music. I love. I just as a kid, I was scared of the dinosaurs. The T Rex looks so real even now. 25. This film is 25 years old. The dinosaurs are like the best. I think all of them. That like not just the T Rex. The sounds they make are like real. You could really believe that these people are in danger. I love the characters. For me, this is an absolute perfect movie, and yeah, I can't see any flaws with it. That's just how good I see this film. Yeah, if I don't sound excited, I'm sorry, but I absolutely love this film.
Well, no, you're right. It's just this movie sort of has everything. You've even got a little bit of tiny bit of romance in there. It's got some comedy bits in there. It's got action. It's got horror.
Mm,
There are parts that are suspenseful thriller kind of bits. There are bits in this that are absolutely terrifying.
yeah,
Um,
I feel
I
like it's
remember as a kid, I couldn't watch Jurassic Park because I would run out of the room petrified of that small dinosaur that sort of fans its like fins at the big guy trying to steal the eggs from the park and kills him in the car. That bit
the
always,
Dilophosaurus.
yeah, that bit always got me and always
Yeah,
terrified me. But this movie has everything, like you said, the special effects. Considering this is 25 years old, there's a lot of films, even from like early 2000s, that look horrendous. Like the CGI looks so bad. This, I don't know how they did it or what they did with it. It's because I guess they only used it sparingly.
mm,
It it's used to great effect. Obviously, they used a lot of models, and that just makes such a difference. I think we mentioned that on a previous review, but just what a difference that makes using real, you know,
yeah. I think
real things. It just makes such a difference.
I think Steven Spielberg obviously directed this.
Yeah.
He used wide shots for the CGI, and close-ups were real props, and that just made such a difference. And like when the T-Rex is up close to the car, that's horrendous, scary. It's like
Yeah,
the eye dilating with the torch going on it.
just a moment, even before that, the suspense of looking at the water and they're like, what the hell is it? If you
Yeah.
ever, and they're just seeing that water shake and
Do you
ripple.
do you know do you know
Yeah.
how they did that?
No. What they do?
So I was watching a documentary on this, and that was like one of the hardest things to try and get because that was part of like the artwork. They basically put the cup on top of this base. Basically, it was like a guitar that was upside down, and they would just pluck the strings of a guitar to make the ripple. Because
Oh, to
obviously
make
they
it
don't.
look like that.
Yeah, so they didn't actually have like a giant dinosaur walking around. If you
Oh,
didn't know
really?
that. If you didn't know that. So yeah, that was really interesting. That's a really interesting, pointless fact that I quite enjoyed
No,
learning.
just because that ripple, the way the way the water looks, I can picture it in my head. Just how it sort of it just looks like they're looking at it like, well, what the hell's that?
Yeah,
And it's just like, and then it's Alan, who's just like trying to get him away, like trying to get the dinosaur. Turn your lights off, turn your lights off. And then
mm.
stupid kids are flashing the torches in its face. And then it's just like when it attacks, and it's when they're under the glass, and you see that giant head, and like you said, close up, because it's a real animatronic head. That looks ridiculous. Even like now, it's
Yeah,
like, oh my goodness, that looks so real.
yeah. If you
Um,
went into a warehouse and that was the dinosaur from it, it was
man,
just in the background, you would be like, you'd start running.
I remember I went on the ride in Universal where it comes
Yeah,
out of the dark.
out of the waterfall or something at the
Oh
very
my,
end.
that is that was one of the scariest things I've ever seen. I nearly pooed myself, I think, at that point. It was
um,
so scary.
I remember that because you're looking at it like it's not going to eat me, and then that's the big drop, isn't it? As
Yeah.
well. But yeah, if you've not been to Universal, go on the Jurassic Park ride. You will not be disappointed.
Definitely. And
Um,
so I guess we'll go through some of it. Obviously it's got is it David Attenborough or Richard? It's Richard Attenborough.
yeah,
One of the,
it's Richard, isn't it?
yeah, it's Richard Attenborough. Chris Kringle, who plays the businessman. His name John Hammond, that's it. And he plays it perfectly. You actually think about it, he's pretty out of order. He's at not any point is he in danger when he's built the damn park, and not at any point is he in any danger of getting killed.
But I almost think that's better because okay, yeah, if a dinosaur was near him, he wouldn't stand a chance anyway. But he has to watch as his creation is destroying other people and his
Yeah, true.
grandchildren. That almost makes it worse. So I like that, but I know what you mean. If he was to have a scene, like what is he going to beat or outrun? He's just he's not going to
And
last very long.
you've got the other characters, yeah, sort of, they come innocuously, obviously, just to sort of, I think they're just there to survey to see if it's a viable like park, to see if it's real, because obviously they want to open it up, and the lawyers and people are complaining about it. So obviously
Yeah,
he invites the two doctors, and he invites Jeff Goldblum's character as well. I think he's a mathematician or something.
yeah,
And just to come and see what you think, see how, and then that scene with the music where they're driving over the hill, and Alan he can't pull his glasses off quick enough, and he
mm.
sort of fumbles it, and Richard Attenborough is like, "Welcome to Jurassic Park," da, 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 and the music is just like, I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
So
That scene.
I've got friends who one of my friends walked down the aisle to that theme, and I wasn't there, but I heard it was amazing. Like
Wow.
not your yeah. So and still happily married.
Yeah.
But,
But do you know what I mean? Like you can hear that music in that scene where you see the massive dinosaurs, like, and you
yeah,
see all the stuff, and you're like, wow, like that
yeah.
is amazing.
It's pretty cool that like they save the T-Rex, because you want to see that one. They save the Velociraptor. At the very beginning, there's a thing with the Velociraptor, isn't there? But they
Yeah,
don't.
you never
They
see
show
it.
like the eye or something, and you know
And the
Spielberg
noise
is
they
so
make
good.
the
Spielberg is
noise they
so good
make
at
is
keeping you
terrifying.
waiting. Mm?
The noise they make is absolutely terrifying. They're like squeal that they
Yeah,
sort of screech they make. It's just awful.
I mean, and that kitchen scene is so
Oh,
haunting, like with
awful,
the kids.
awful, awful, awful.
Every time, I honestly, I'm not just saying it. Like I remember being in kitchens similar to that and being worried. Do you know what I mean? Like I really got worried as a teenager, like things like that.
It is that bit again is just, it's terrifying when their heads are like poking through stuff, and it's
Mm,
again, it's like a real animatronic head that's sort of
yeah,
coming. you know, that is just awful. And that, you know, they're both those kids. You know, I don't think they really went on to do. Did they do much else? The kids? I don't think so. I don't
I
think.
recognise the boy, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. I can't remember.
But
I
yeah,
hope there's not someone really famous now, but I don't think they did. But they were really good
mm,
in the film. Because you know some kids can just be so annoying in films because you know they haven't got the experience, haven't got they haven't got the nous yet for acting, but they were good in the film. Obviously, the guy that plays Alan, what's his name? Sam Neill,
yeah,
amazing in it. Laura Dern, amazing in it.
yeah.
Um,
I think
Jeff Goldblum
yeah.
as well.
Each character has their own sort of reason for being on the park, and it's not just wow, come and look at dinosaurs. There's also like the moral sort of dilemma that these people face. You know,
Yeah,
that as much as they are dinosaur diggers, you know, they dig up dinosaurs. This is like something they've always wanted to see. They pose the question of, you know, you went ahead and made these dinosaurs. Just because you could do it doesn't mean you should have done it. You know,
yeah. I
and
think it's one of the lines,
and
isn't it?
yeah, and you know, John Hammond is there. You know, one of my favourite scenes actually in the film is the scene where they have lunch and they're discussing all of this. You know, and in the end, he says, "You guys are here to defend me," and the lawyer's the only one sticking up for me because the lawyer obviously is thinking we
Money,
can
money,
make so
money.
we can make so much. You know, he even says we can make a fortune out of this place. And
Mm.
yeah,
Well,
I
yeah,
love
because
that scene. What is
I
right?
think
You know,
I think their thoughts change a lot when I guess they find out that he's making raptors,
mm,
and it's like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like this,
yeah,
you're absolutely out of your mind, sort of thing. I think they're going, like you said, like, should you do it? And the fact that he's made, he's like, what is this? Well, I think they see the little raptor come out the egg, don't they? And I
yeah,
think Alan's like, oh, what kind of dinosaur is this? Oh, it's a velociraptor, and he's like, what? Because he realizes these are one of the most deadly like species of anything that's ever lived ever,
mm,
and you're making them. What are you doing? You
yeah,
know, and obviously the Raptors are some of the most iconic dinosaurs in the franchise, aren't they? The Velociraptors,
mm,
and and in this film they don't disappoint. They are terrifying throughout. They're smarter than basically all the clearly smarter than all the other dinosaurs. They're communicating with people, with each other. Sorry. um when
mm.
that the hunter guy's in the jungle trying to get one, and
Yeah.
and the one
Clever
steps to the
girl.
side, he's like, clever girl, and he just gets absolutely wiped out. These,
It's that noise it makes just before it grabs him as well is pretty
yeah,
haunting.
yeah, it's just that the Raptors are just you're so memorable. But the star of the show, I think, probably for everyone, is the T-Rex, isn't it? It's just
Yeah.
so big and powerful, and that scene where he eats the lawyer on the toilet. I remember
Mm.
just thinking that is one of the worst ways to go ever.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
I mean, I just felt so sorry for this guy. He's just like he's trying to hide. If he hadn't, if like basically, if he'd have gone anywhere else, he'd have been all right.
Mm.
And
Just that whole scene where they stop and obviously the storm comes and that's pretty
Guns
cool. It's
go.
obviously you got a guy sabotaging the park, but the storm is what sort of brought the T-Rex out of the cage,
Mm,
as it were. And when it eats the goat or whatever, like just all of it, the build up, the kids acting when it comes out, that
mm.
whole thing. I think this film just goes by so quickly because you're just so invested. This is like, I feel like I've got a pretty good imagination. I feel like this is my imagination just put on film, like, and better. You know what I mean? This is better than my imagination could have ever thought up. Um, I tell you one thing. I've always, the can that the guy had,
Yeah,
the fat guy. I was always sort of thinking, what's going to happen with that can in the future? But they never sort of went
they've
back
never
to
gone
it.
back to it ever, have they? They've
I don't know.
never.
I don't know if that was me that was like maybe I wasn't supposed to see it that way. But I always thought,
No, I
oh,
always, dude. Every film afterwards, I was like, oh, we're going to see the can.
yeah,
I just assumed we would see it at some point because the way they left it in the first one, it sort of innocuously gets covered in mud and gets
mm,
washed away seemingly or buried. You just
Yeah.
assume, oh, like it's there. I
Mm.
do hope, because obviously we've got at least one more sequel, probably another one if this one does well as well. I
Mm.
hope we see what the hell happened to the can. Like it just that always bothered me that we don't know.
That can be so rusty and
It'd be destroyed, but
underground by now.
even if it's someone offhandly just sort of goes, "Oh, what the hell is this?" and just sort of throws it, be quite funny. But I just sort of want to know what happened to the can. Maybe did we miss it? No, I'm pretty sure we didn't see it in any of the other films.
It honestly isn't any other. But yeah, no,
But yeah, like you
love.
said, in the film, once the power goes out, it's about them trying to survive and get off the island.
Even when
And
they're like running
and
in the field with the Gallimimus, and obviously you can see the T-Rex is loose, and they have to
yeah,
sort of, Alan Grant obviously doesn't really like kids, and his character grows with the kids.
mm,
It was done really well. And yeah, I don't know. It's just a bit of everything. It's a bit of an adventure. Mainly, it's just that kind of escapism. But there's also there's a realness to it, isn't it? It's a film about
mm,
dinosaurs on an island, but there's something that's like this is exactly what we would do if we were able to make dinosaurs. You would make it like a park. You'd slap the Jurassic Park lunchbox and all the rest of it.
mm.
Um, and you would just package it up like, yeah, this is a dinosaur show. Come and see it. Obviously, in the Lost World, we'll do a review on that one day. They go into a bit more detail, didn't they? And they have the park open. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
It's a bit like I think like you said, Jurassic Lost World, sorry, but Jurassic World.
oh yeah, sorry.
It becomes even it's just like the nightmare become true, isn't it? They've got it's like Disneyland. It's like, oh, come and see these dinosaurs, and it's like, it's so bad. Really, it's like this is not good. Such a sort of like you said, like I think it's like I think Jeff Goldblum's like life finds a way, and it will, when will these people learn?
Yeah,
When will people learn? You cannot keep doing this.
yeah. That dinosaur
So,
will eat you.
Yeah.
And if that dinosaur doesn't, its cousin will.
Yeah, and and I think this film just again is one of those films. I think there's a theme of a lot of the films we've done so far of just films that I think will just stand the test of time long after everyone that made it and was in it is dead and gone.
I'm showing my kids this film. I'm showing, I'm watching it.
100.
It's so good.
And
I don't, I love the others to a point, but nowhere near as much as I love this first one. It didn't ever get any better for me.
No.
And I love that. Like I actually watched it at Jurassic World the other day, and I loved Jurassic World. And I love the Lost World.
3.
Huh?
A lot better than 3.
Yeah, 3 is Alan. But
3 is not good.
You didn't get that reference, did you?
No, what was that?
In 3, he daydreams, and there's a dinosaur on the plane, and it looks at him, and it's like Alan, and he wakes up.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that film is not good. Not a good film. Is that the one with the Spinosaurus?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the good one.
Yeah. Yeah. So overall, I think I'm quite clearly obvious. Recommended. Buy it. Go and see it. Get the Blu-ray. Get the DVD. Get the tape. Get the laser disc. Get the 4K Blu-ray. Get the digital version. Get every single version. Watch it.
Get the lunchbox.
Get the lunchbox. Get the Raptor. Get the T-Rex.
I had the T-Rex, and it was so good because you could have the side. You could take the side out, and obviously it was where the Raptors, where they fight at the end, like bit into them or whatever. I had a really lifelike T-Rex, but yeah, I love this film.
100% recommended by us. I think really good film, really well made, well acted, well directed, great special effects, great music. John Williams again. ridiculous. Just excellent overall. Completely excellent.
People get bored of us just saying how good it is, but it really is just that good. And if you've seen it, you know it's that good, and hopefully you'll be inspired to watch it. I'm definitely thinking about watching it right now.
Yeah, no, I sort of do want to watch it.
But
yeah, I think that's it for Jurassic Park. So yeah, definite watch on our list. I think for our next review, I think because we've been very positive overall. I think we've only done one film we don't particularly like. I think either we're going to do one that is a contentious one, so it's a bit of a different conversation between us. There's a couple of films that we were thinking. I think one of them was X-Men Origins.
Great film.
One of them being Man of Steel as well. But also one that we both dislike as well. Die Another Day was one we were thinking of doing as well, as a sort of one to review as well. So I think we've got some ideas for the next one, and you'll just have to tune in and see what we discuss. But no, looking forward to it, and thanks for listening, and have a good evening.
See you later.
See ya.